Welcome everybody to this video. Before we're gonna start, I want to give you a heads up. So this is a highly detailed explanation video for the Edem Jager story order number 13. And if you walk through this with me, just step by step, you will complete this mission. But at some point, I'm gonna tell you about gearboxes and upgraded parts. I forgot to tell you can also upgrade the throttle body and the air inlet for the car. So keep that in mind and skip the whole gearbox section as well. Now let's get back towards the video. I hope you enjoy it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back from Night Radiance to the channel. And today we have another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator. And today I decided to do a remake of the story order 13, the Edem Jager. So a lot of people have trouble with this one, and you probably also have a lot of trouble with the tuning. And first of all, what we're gonna do is focus on repairing the car, and we have a lot of parts to discover and replace the body parts, and we have to do the oil, then we have to spray the factory color, and we also have to do a fluid change and a tuning, and that's why you probably hear. I'm first gonna tackle this project over here, so the main parts, then I'm going to do the body panels and then the oil change, and then last we're going to spray and tune the car. But with the section that you have to repair the parts, keep in mind that you have to tune the car. That means you have to use upgraded parts. Let's go in the workshop and let's work on this car right over here.
One season later.
So we are in the garage ready to work on this one. So let's start first with the main task, and that is to repair all of the parts. So we also have to look for a couple parts, so we are going to look for them right now and also start repairing them. So here we are at the section where we have to demount the car. So all of the work that you have to do is in the front of the car. The only things that you have to get off the rear part of the car are the wheels. The rest of the parts that will be in the front. And I was looking and tried to find the last couple parts, tried to get the engine out for the explanation coming right up. And you don't have to get the engine out, just leave it in. You just have to go up and down a couple of times. And what I'm doing right here is basically unnecessary, but for the explanation it will be ready for you to go, and it's probably a lot easier. You do have to get the whole exhaust off for the rest of the video. But now let's get back over towards post-production nitrate. So here we have it, the engine of the Edem Jager. So what I've done is basically remove the engine. If you cannot do this, that's not a big problem. You can also do it in the car, as you can saw me struggle getting it up and down. But for the explanation, it's probably a bit easier if you can get this one room as well. And how do you get it is also go to this toolbox over here or this toolbox over here. Then you press it with your mouse key, and then you come over here, and then you have the extension. It requires 10,000 bucks, and then you also have to get the engine stand, tools, and that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be very expensive, but it's not necessary. What you do need, you also need to get the spray shop, or the paint shop I should say, for the factory color. Now once you have those two, I had to do a little bit of off-camera work before the recording to get the dyno, because I hadn't on this save. But now, once we are at the engine, we have to tear this one a little bit down, because there are a lot of parts, or a couple parts, who needs replacing, because that's on the list. So first, let's start with demounting all the front section bits and also the top bits, and that should be enough. So let's get the timing cover off and also the head cover, and then you should be good to go. I already see a filter that is gone bad, and I already saw a timing belt, or a serpentine belt I should say. So replace the serpentine belts. And yeah, once I got all the parts to have been found, I will show you the list. So let's get this engine a little bit stripped down, shall we? So with the engine, you just have to get rid of the whole front section until you get towards the timing cover. And there you see a faulty belt tensioner and a faulty timing chain. Now you do have to get the top cover off to basically unveil the faulty camshaft. You can also upgrade this one, keep that in mind. I will explain later in the video. And yeah, that's basically what you have to do with the engine. So that should be enough right over here for now. and you have to remove the whole front section and the head and the camshaft because the camshaft is gone. And if you want to make sure that you got everything, just go over the list and let's see how far you have gone. So there's one more part that I've been missing and I don't know yet what it is, but currently we need a belt tensioner, 2 brake pads in the front, a camshaft inline 4 COHC, front drive axle H, a front drive shaft, fuel filter, an oil filter inline 4 retro rims number 10, I will come to that later, a serpentine belt inline 4 COHC, serpentine belt A, 4 spark plugs, I will come to that later, standard tire B with the right measurements, I will come to that later, a timing belt inline 4 COHC, and the part that is not discovered. So that's gonna be a bit of a search probably, but let's go over towards the engine and I will gonna tell you what you need. So you need a tune. How are you gonna get the tune? You need 5 to 10%, I think it was. Let me go ahead and double check. 10 to 15%. How are we going to measure that? So how I always calculate my runs, or once you see my other videos, I just go full ham and get everything. But now you need 10% to 15%. Go towards your inventory, go towards the engine section, and what are parts that are going to increase the potential of making more power? Those are camshafts. Add this one towards your list, and you do that by pressing spacebar. Exhaust manifold, those are also very helpful with making more power, so also add this one, and a fuel filter, definitely. And we also need the spark plugs, I forgot. And you see the ignition wires and spark plugs, those are very bad. Go back to towards your inventory, add 4 spark plugs towards your inventory and the ignition wire, or towards your shopping list, I should say. That should be enough for now. Go ahead towards the tablet or go towards the PC over on the desk over here. I will go towards the PC because I'm here right now. And there we go. You are in the main screen right over here. And you might think, okay, I need the new parts. Let's go towards the car parts. You always go. That's not the one you need right now. You do need those for the normal parts. That's not the issue, but you need the tuning parts. So that's the shop over here. Now you're over here and now like, okay, what do I need? You press tab, that opens your shopping list. Then you have the items that will be highlighted once you add it towards the shopping list, and then you press them. Then you see right over here, you have a 2.75% increase in tuning. So get your calculators out. There you go. So we add 2.75 plus, then buy this one. Buy the part. There you go. Then you can delete that one from your section. Get the exhaust manifold. That is 1.5%. So get your calculator out again. Plus 1.5 plus 1.5 equals 4.25. Buy the part. And basically what you're going to do is add the numbers up until you have between 10 and 15%. Plus 0.6 equals 4.85. Then spark plugs, 0.3 by 4 of them, so that is equal to 0.5%. So plus 5 dot, or no, cancel. So 4.85 plus 0.52 equals 5.37. That's very nice. Now ignition wires plus 0.75% plus 0.75%. That's 6.12 already. Buy those parts. There you go. Head back towards the engine. We'll come to the next section later, but that's on the car right now. And start mounting the parts. So you have got the camshaft. There you go. Now remount the parts back again, because those were not on the list. And also the fuel filter. Add that one back over there. That is always close towards the engine and not in the car. And basically you reassemble the engine back towards its fully potential with the upgraded parts that you have bought. I do have to say, I forgot to buy the serpentine belts and that kind of stuff, so I have to buy them back. But there you go, that's the engine head almost done. You can also, there was probably a ignition coil somewhere. You can also upgrade the alternator and the power steering pump. Those add about 1% also towards the tuning potential that you need. So now we are going to reassemble the whole engine, and you have to get spark plugs, ignition wires, get everything back towards the engine. So the serpentine belt, timing chain, also a belt tensioner, get the engine back together, and then you're done with the engine. And if you got the engine out of the car like I did, place the engine back in the car and then work with the rest, and that will come later. Now once you have finished the engine, then take the engine off the engine tent, or if you are working on the car, that's not a big problem. Get the crane back, install the engine, press enter, and there you go. Remove this one and the engine should be back in the car. Now once we are back at the engine, you can also add the exhaust towards your shopping list. So the front section, then you're gonna go over towards the catalytic converter, also press X on that one, the middle muffler and the exhaust pipe, and also the rear muffler. Let's go back towards the shop. So open up your tablet, go towards the home screen, or the computer, go towards the home screen and go towards the tune-up shop. Press tab again, and then the front section exhaust. There we go, that is 0.9%. So add that one, plus 0.9 equals 702. So buy the part, press tab, get that rid of. Now you buy the catalytic converter, and plus 1.75 equals 8.77. There you go, get rid of that one, and you repeat the steps until you are at the 10 plus mark, and then you do 1.65 equals 10.42. So at this point you should have enough, but let's see how far can we go. I want to do the whole exhaust system, so plus 0.9 equals 11.32. There we go, and the rear muffler is just a full 1%, plus 1 equals 12.32%. So with those parts in mind, you can now fully swap the underside exhaust section. So let's lift the car up and remove the whole exhaust system. There you go, that's the exhaust, muffler, middle muffler, catalytic converter, and there we go. Now let's place back those parts. So I'm gonna start from the back section over here. Rear muffler, select the upgraded one by the icon with the turbo icon. There you go, nice and shiny. The exhaust pipe, there you go, 0.9%. Middle muffler, 1.65%. Catalytic converter, there you go. And the front exhaust section, there you go. Now we can also install the transmission back. That should be also, you can also upgrade the gearbox, but that is a lot of money for a 1% increase. I would not recommend this in the early games, please don't. Now we are first going to finish up the engine, then we're going to start with the rest of the parts. There we go. Okay, add part, add back the starter engine, or the starter motor I should say. Then the exhaust manifold we also purchased, put that one on. There you go, a lot of bolts, but hey, it has to be done. Add the exhaust manifold cover back on. That engine should be good. Now refill the oil. You can also do that at last, but I'm currently done with the engine. There you go, that should be enough oil. You can check the dipstick over here. And yeah, that is good enough. So now you should have done the refill. There you go. You have done a belt tensioner, a camshaft, a fuel filter, a oil filter, the serpentine belt, a spark plugs, and a timing belt. In this part I haven't discovered yet. So now let's go and finish up the last parts.
The next day.
So for the tires, what you need to do is separate the tires. So you go over here at the tire changer that should be right across from your bridge. There you go, separate parts. I already separated one. There you go, and you have to separate all 4 of them. Maybe if you have the separate room, you have the table where you can repair parts. That is also very useful. And I will explain why you need to separate these tires right now. The rims, they are orange. And orange, and that one is red, unfortunately. The orange rims can be restored. That saves you a bit of money in the later part. So that is very nice. So I will show you. There we go. Now go over towards the room right across from your bridge or where your car is stored. Go over towards one of these, green table. Not this one, that's for body parts, but this one. Then you go and look for your wheels. In this case, I cannot do them because I have too little in the renovator skill. And if you have a high enough skill, that's mostly like the maximum skill. Unfortunately, that's a bit sad, but you can get them over here in the skill tree, and that is this section right over here. I highly recommend this one for the later part, and also recommend this section right over here. You can very cheaply get parts. You get like 15 to 20% off parts. That saves a lot of money, but unfortunately we cannot do them. So what I'm going to do is teach you a different way what I am always doing. So first, always check your tire sizes, and these are your tire sizes. So in this case we have 4 tires on all 4 sides of the car, a 175, 70, 13. Add this one towards your shopping list with spacebar, and also look at the rim sizes. So you have a 13 inch between those brackets, and you have an ET score of 0. Keep that in mind. That also will be highlighted in the store. So go over towards the computer or your tablet. I in this case going towards your computer. Go towards the home screen and go towards this tire shop that is in the middle, a little bit in the middle. Go towards the tires, press your tab key, and you see this section right over here, standard tire B. Press on it. Then I always check again the size, 175, 70, 13. So tires amount, how many do you need? We need 4. Inch size was 13 inch. Width was 175. Profile was 70. There you go. It's gonna give me a 10% discount, so it's probably gonna cost you around $700 to get the tires. Buy the tires, press home screen again, go towards the rim section, do that with the retro rim 10, 13 inch ET. So amount 4, 13 inch ET 0. Buy. 288 credits for me. It's probably gonna cost you around 350 for you. Go back towards the tire changer and install the tires. So number the retros and this one, and you have to wait, and I will get back to you when I've done all 4.
5 minutes later.
Once you have the tires rotated back together, go towards the wheel balancer and you have to balance out the wheels. And this is how you do it. So I do always with A and D, and then press the space bar. There you go. Go towards the green section of the tire. There you go. And this will speak for itself, but I will do one more. You know what? I'm gonna do all 4 of them. I'm already almost done. There you go. And now all the way back here and back again. And there you go. That's how you do the tires. And you can place them back on the car once you have done all the parts that needed to be placed back to fit the wheel. So the last part that you need to refresh towards a new one is the air filter. There we go. So then you should have all the parts ready to go. So the parts that you do need to replace is an air filter, inline 4B, a belt tensioner, 2 brake pads, a camshaft inline 4 SOHC, front drive axle H, front drive axle H, front drive shaft, a fuel filter, an oil filter, inline 4 rims and 4 tires, serpentine belt inline 4 COHC, serpentine belt a 4 spark plugs, the tires that I talked about, and a timing belt inline 4 COHC. So once you got all the parts, let's get them back in the car, shall we? So once you have got all the parts, mount them back on the car, then you should have finished the main task of all the mechanical parts. Now we continue on the body parts, and follow just along with the video, you will be okay. Do not spray the car before you replace the body parts, then you will fail the mission or you get stuck on the mission and cost you extra money. So keep that in mind and let's continue. So once you have finished those steps, the car should be mechanically ready to go. Now then this one should be grayed out, and then you have all 3 sections complete. So now let's continue on the hood and the right panels. So take off the hood, take off the red parts basically on the car. There you go. You can also fix them probably, but I don't know if we can on the table right over here. No, we cannot, so we have to buy them new. How do we do that? So go over towards the computer once again and go over towards the home screen of the computer, and you have the body workstation. Do not go to body tuning, that can be done, but it's more expensive. Don't do that. Go towards the body, then you find the car. You can also see the car icon once you have in house with the little house icon, the Edem Jager. And we need a right door, there you go, buy the part. And we need a hood, there you go, buy the part. And we need a front right fender, buy the part, there you go. Once you buy the parts, go ahead and add to the car. There you go, fully 100%. There you go, fully 100%, 100%. Don't forget the mirror and the glass on the car. And that should be done with the replaced body parts. There you go. Now add oil. That is very easy to do. Open up the hood, go towards the engine and go towards the oil fill plug and fill the oil in the engine. I always do the engine oil until the bottle goes a little bit down like this, then wait like 3 more seconds and that should be enough. So we have fixed this one. Now let's go over towards the other task, because there you go, the car's already increased its tuning by 10 to 15% because we added up those parts in the calculator. Perform a wheel alignment we're gonna do later. First we're gonna change the power steering fluid and the brake fluid. Open up the hood again, go towards the brake booster, and first of all let's go to additional tools and then go towards the drain tool and then go towards this one right over here, and there you go, drain this one. And also power steering fluid, that's this reservoir over here, the black one, drain that one as well. There you go, fully drained. Now right mouse button and unmount part, then we're gonna screw open this one and fill it up until the fluid is till its max. Do that again at the brake cylinder. Once this one is filled up, you first of all are gonna see the bottle going a little bit less tilt. There you go, and then wait 1 second more and that should be done as well. Other task, there we go. If you haven't got this one, remember, go ahead and find performance part that you can upgrade. You can also upgrade the air filter, that's like an increase of 1%. You can also add the power steering pump for a couple percent and the alternator. If you have really money to spend, you can also add 1% with the gearbox. And where you find the upgraded gearbox is right over here. You don't need it, but if you want to do that, go over here in the home screen, go towards the gearbox shop over here, all the way on the right, and look for the gearbox that is in this car. All the gearboxes will add 1%. It's not worth the effort. As you can see right over here, it costs a lot of money to buy a gearbox. Do not do that. That will save you a lot of trouble later down the line. So now let's go over towards the wheel alignment section, and you have to buy the test path for that one. So let's go over there towards the test path, and there you go. At the test path, you have 3 options. You have the test path for suspension and brakes. Then you have the wheel alignment over here. So do the wheel alignment. There we go. This one. this one, and this one. This one is already good. That's very nice. Headlight alignment not needed, already done. And there you go. That should be done with the other tasks. And let's go over towards the spray shop. I always call it the spray shop, but the paint shop. There we go. Now, a lot of guys and or girls, I don't know, cannot see your gender from here, but have trouble with spraying the car. Go over here. You see your car, very nice. And you see a factory color. Here you go. You need $1,000 to paint it. Just click over here, factory color, and that should be done. Not one of these colors, factory color right over here. And hold enter. And that is the car fully done. Now, if you want to, you can buy the dyno, but you will need a dyno later down the line, especially later down in the missions. You can tune it. Let's see, how much does this make? So we currently make 99 horsepower at 4,950 RPM, and we make 158 Nm of torque at 3,925 RPM. It will probably be a little bit less because the parts are worn out. Don't get sad by this, because this will not determine the performance or the task that you need to do by tuning. That is purely the parts that you put on the car. So like I said, calculate your parts that you need. Okay, in this case we got like 4% increase, but this is the number where it should go be about. So we calculated, or the game calculated 12.3%, and if I get my calculator, it is 12.32%. So we basically got right on the money. That is good enough for me. So that is how you finish up this car, and let's get it outside for a proper look. There we go. In the factory color, like it should be, and you should be fully done. These are all the parts that you need. An air filter inline B, you can upgrade this one. A belt tensioner, brake pads for the front wheels. Camshaft, you can upgrade this one. Front drive axles in the front, that speaks for itself, and the front drive axle. You can upgrade the fuel filter. A oil filter is needed. You need 4 rims for the car, a serpentine belt, non-serpentine belt, spark plugs, you can upgrade these. Tires also with the rims, and you have a timing belt as well. Body parts, those are the highlighted in the red. Once you get the car, you need an oil change, the factory color, and you need a brake fluid change and a power steering fluid change. The increased tuning should be done once you calculated all the parts, but it's not determined by the dyno. You can do a dyno just for fun, but later down the line you're gonna need the dyno, so it will be like, oh no, I have to spend the money right now, crap. But trust me, you have to use it later down the line, so better now than never. And you need a wheel alignment. But the good part is you get like 15 grand back, ending this story order. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you find this highly detailed video very knowledgeable, and hopefully it helped you out with the Edem Jager or the tuning problems. I hope you all like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any tips, checks, or just something you want to say, please leave it down in the comments down below. That would be much appreciated. And a like, subscribe if you haven't already. That would be much appreciated, and I wish you a very nice day. But before you go, let's sell this back towards the customer. And 15 grand, thank you very much. That helped me a lot, and we are level up. That's very nice. Peace out, everybody. Have yourself a wonderful day.